What's up, everyone? Aloha. Uh, got inspired to do a video today again, finally. Uh, Something that I've been thinking about for a long time. Kind of the whole left-right political paradigm thing, our system, the way they built it. They built it. Uh, yeah. It to me, after a lot of thinking, researching, talking to people, you know, it's a false left-right paradigm that they've built. It's the Hegelian dialectic that they've kind of built all the other Hegelian dialectics off of. Uh, so I want to kind of just go over what the way I see it that they built. It's pretty basic. You've all seen it before, and then the way I think it really is, and also a little bit about the way it can be. Hopefully, if everything goes well. So I got my little whiteboard here. Hopefully my pens are going to be working well. A little trouble a minute ago, but yeah, basically your basic left, right, political, red, blue. Uh, that's that's our system as we know it, at least from them. And so let me get this cap off. Okay, so then with that, then in the center here, theoretically, that's our government. They're representing the right on that side and the left on that side. And they keep everything fair and balanced in this system where they've got representatives of both sides who have to come together and work for us. But of course, we know, most of us know, they're not really working for us. Uh, and that's why a lot of us are real upset nowadays. Even those of us that like Trump, we're still pretty upset. The system's still not working for us. Um, and we're still fighting the elite, just like the left are. We just see it a little bit different or see solutions a little different. Some would argue a lot different, and that's where we get into uh, these sections over here, which, especially the elite nowadays, the mainstream media, the mainstream politicians, they're always talking about the radical left, radical right, uh, and they're trying to keep everyone moving back into the center, away from these radical sides, because as they say it, the center is where the sane people are. Well, also in the center, this is all the elite, which are actually kind of in between everyone else out here and the government. They're controlling the government. They're controlling the left-right paradigm. And the way I see it, it's not at all linear. That's a totally false imagery, false construct that they've built, mostly because they don't want these unhappy people getting together with these unhappy people. And right now, you also hear, along with radical left, radical right, is populist left, populist right. They're kind of synonymous in reality, and somewhat, you can hear them say that every once in a while. Usually not in the same sentence, but they'll be describing the same people either as populist left or radical left or populist right, radical right. Same thing in their minds, because the radicals, the populists, both sides want to take down the elite and break the corrupt system that doesn't work for them. So they need them as far apart as possible. They want everyone moving into the center, And that's why they want everyone thinking linear like this and divided like this. But the way I think it is, the way I see it, is, okay, here you've got the government, and then from there, here's the dividing lines. Here's the left, and there's the right. Is that showing up? Yeah, kind of. So here's your divide, right through the middle, kind of. So here we've got our radicals coming together, but separated. Here you've got your centrists and your elite. And I guess, here you've got your kind of moderate left, moderate right. And I write it this way, I see it this way, because it is how they divide us. There is a linear factor to this. And it goes like this. This is the way they kind of want it in a horizontal power structure. Kind of looks like this. They're overseeing it. Here's their controlled centrists, and they've got their left and rights divided in a balanced way for them. They're still all up here and controlling things, and they want these guys totally divided. Now this vertical line up here, this is much more where we're at right now. And this is our populism factor coming together, still divided by left and right, but coming together. A lot of crossovers from left to support Trump, the other populist candidate back in 2016. Both were populist movements, and both are directly opposed to the power structure. So, still linear, still controlled by them. They still want all focus on the centrist part, because that's right in the middle of everything, and that's easiest to control and say, look, we've got compromise. But this isn't democracy. It's not representative. We know that. And we need to change a couple factors here, which is one, government shouldn't be up here. This is not government. This should be government. They should be equal distance, equidistant to these guys, these guys, these guys, and even these elite fuckers up here. Excuse my language. But so this is the paradigm that we have to change. And a big part of that is this group right here, the radicals, the ones that these are most afraid of and that want the most distance between us and them and us and the government. So we need to work on and figure out how to put government here, get back to, not going radicals to elite anymore, but going the moderate, reasonable left to the moderate, reasonable right, coming together in the center, being represented. Because that's how we get back to more inclusive. And then even, these lines actually start potentially extending more and more to be more and more inclusive as the whole system gets more and more fair. And in fact, it stops even being two-dimensional like this, and it becomes a full 3D sphere with everyone represented in all kinds of different places, unlocking all different kinds of possibilities, all different kinds of solutions. No more Hegelian dialectics. It's either this or this, or this or this. Uh, the way they've got it designed, uh, you know, it's not linear. Nothing about our culture, our being as people is linear. Our thinking isn't linear. That there's been stuff written, both about how people's minds are either left brain, right brain dominant, uh, and then even that politics are kind of divided up in that way. Well, we didn't do that; they did that, and it's kind of real, but they keep it separate, where left and right brain need to be working together. Uh, Even in the most left brain dominant or the most right brain dominant, uh, you know, it isn't about reinforcing just one side. It's building both sides, bringing it together, um, to function the best that you can. Uh, like for example, you know, I think of it like music. Um, as music started, it was more what they describe the left brain activity, creative, spontaneous, whatever left brain stuff they talk about, uh, the arts. Uh, definitely, that's where its roots. It didn't come from right brain critical thinkers that were doing mathematical equations and seeing that that could be done in rhythms that would turn into you know different melodies with tones being specific, and uh, that came much later. It was a creative process first that put down some cool things to work with, and then some right brain people got a hold of it and came up with some new things to do with that, like including understanding it mathematically, and how there is a mathematical nature to it all. And they were able to actually feed that back into the left brain side, or the creative side, to create something totally new and advanced, and progress what is capable with music. Uh, Absolutely has to be right brain, left brain to keep making progress. And at the same time, uh, like we keep saying, as we make progress, we need to make creative solutions uh, to conserve what we already have, like beautiful cultures, beautiful land, people's individuality, our way of life, all those things. Uh, they're not mutually exclusive in any way. In fact, they have to be mutually inclusive, and a part of what we do, not fighting ourselves and not fighting our friends that just think of things a little bit differently, which is the structure that they've built for us. They want us divided by politics, by party. They want us divided by religion. They want us divided by race. They want us divided by gender, sexual orientation. They can work with all of that and fit it into a left-right box, uh, and keep us fighting each other. Uh, we have more than the numbers enough to take that power away from them. We just have to stop fighting ourselves. Uh, Even the radical mirror image, the way they say it, of ourselves, we need to come together, do what we all want to do, which is stop the control of the elite over our whole system, build a fair and balanced system that works for all of us, and start, figuring out some cool new things while we get back to some basics in other areas, and take care of our friends, our families. A lot of these things that, especially the last 3 years, they have driven a wedge between more than ever. So, uh, yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. Like, you know, I really think kind of their model of the left-right political system is toxic, and is a big part of the problem. And us coming together and collapsing that system, while keeping what we have uh, as a structure in place. I'm definitely not advocating violence. I'm saying do this politically within our constitutional rights, in the right way. It's just a matter of coming together to do it. I know we can. I've seen it. It's possible. Uh, so thanks for checking this out, and hopefully it made sense. Hopefully you can see the board, but it's more theoretical than anything. Um, I just couldn't write all this down and make as much sense of it as hopefully I did here. So, right on. Thanks again. Aloha, you guys. Keep up the good fight.